Roll Tide, everybody. Look who's back. Big
Hey.
Elmo, me. Hey, we're here to talk about another big-time commit that has just picked the University of Alabama. And we're talking about the big offensive lineman from Carmel, California, Mr. Jackson Lloyd. He has picked Alabama. He's made it official. So the 4-star coming to Tuscaloosa. And there it is. Look at that. From Fawcett Hayes Fawcett at On 3. Not really sure about him. Never met him, but I do know Andrew Bone over there. And Roll Tide, man. Everybody on top of this talking about Alabama and this recruiting class and getting better and bringing in the linemen. And we're going to talk about this guy. But first, let me ask you to do us a solid, which is give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Thanks for being here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. And let's get this thing started the only way we know how, with an invitation to the party. Roll Tide. All right, big things happening, my man. And one of those big things is that this recruiting class has gotten a lot better because of Alabama going out there and bringing in blue chip prospects. And today, that would be Jackson Lloyd. We kept talking about it. Well, he made it official today that he has picked the University of Alabama from all the way out in Carmel, California.
Yeah. Now they have him listed as a 4-star. Has committed to Alabama. He chose Crimson Tide, of course, over Ohio State, USC, and a plethora of others. 6'6", 280 pounds. And he was the first recruit to be offered by Kalen DeBoer when he replaced Nick Saban. So that's how long ago these two go back. He was in Tuscaloosa. We talked about that on the show this morning. Over the weekend on an official visit, he canceled his visits to Oklahoma and USC. So then we kind of knew that things went well in Tuscaloosa, enough to steer him to make his commitment to the Tide here on the 18th day of June. Ranked the 29th player nationally, 6th offensive tackle in the country.
Wow.
And the number 1 player in California.
Really?
Yes.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, this Alabama recruiting, we've paid close attention to it since really it got really fun when Nick Saban took over in 2007, right? And then all of a sudden Alabama was having success recruiting, and they were always at the top of the list, somewhere up top. A lot of national championships recruiting. Right now, Bama's class is 4th nationally. According to On 3, they just keep on adding to the list, and you can feel the fire coming from this group over the last 3 weeks. When all these official visits have happened, Jackson Lloyd, joins the likes of Michael Carroll, Big Mike on that offensive line. Another great offensive lineman, the legacy Mal Waltrip from Phoenix City. He gave his nod. So he's the 3rd offensive lineman in that class. And, there could be another offensive lineman coming soon. You got to keep on building those interior lines. But it really goes to show you the power recruiting that Coach DeBoer and his staff are having right now.
Yeah, the Tide continues to roll. And man, I like it. I mean, a lot of people were questioning, can he recruit, especially in the SEC with the likes of, let's face it, all these teams that it's a loaded SEC, especially this year with bringing in Texas and Oklahoma. And how well would this guy from Washington, come down south and take over? Because, the Auburn fans were saying, Oh, this is going to be another Brian Harson. This
Yeah,
is
they
no
were called
Brian Harson.
Husky Harson.
Oh, is it Husky Harson? Yeah. Well, he's no Brian Harson.
The funny thing is now they'll say, "Well, my grandmother could recruit to Alabama." Okay.
Right. Well,
Yeah. Look, there's a
uh,
lot of competition for the country's top players, and Alabama has the brand and they have the facilities, obviously they have the tradition, but you still got to go out there and get these guys to come and be a part of the program. And that's what we're seeing right now with this group at Alabama, as the recruiting class is now closing on number 3 recruiting class in the country, not far away. They have a chance to have the number 1 recruiting class. He picked, as you mentioned, he picked Alabama over Ohio State. There's a lot of battles for players with Ohio State and Georgia. It seems like we see those two teams a lot. Sometimes LSU, not as much Tennessee and Auburn. I think that they're kind of recruiting a tier under where Alabama is right now. But it just goes to show that, you know, that what's going on is that Alabama's been still in that upper echelon of the top recruits.
right. And yeah, I mean, obviously Twitter going crazy over this because, this guy also is they're really beefing up things on the line. This is the third guy to commit, on the line. And I was reading about Lloyd, in his high school playing days at Caramel High School out in California. He plays primarily on the left side of the line, but he also has played some on the right side of the line, and he's even lined up as a defensive tackle. So this guy, obviously versatile. He can move around. Obviously, though, put him to wherever he fits best in the scheme of things. But also in reading about this, they're just talking about how he manhandles the high school players there in California. And he has a mean streak in him on the field. And that's what I love, man. That's Alabama football right there.
Yeah.
This guy will get in the secondary and throw you down.
Yeah, they also say he's a really smart player. He's able to retain a lot of knowledge. That goes a long way too. You meet these offensive linemen, and some of them are really, really intelligent people. I mean, they're just big and strong, but the wheels turn. Now, another commitment that Sam's wondering about is Elmo's commitment. He wants to know, does he need to reach out to Roll Tide Willie?
I would love to talk to Roll Tide Willie. I mean, just we need to have him on the show. Mick, I think he lives down in your part of the your part of the state. So maybe you'll have him over for dinner.
I'd love
have
to.
him on the show.
I'd love to. He's invited anytime he wants.
And if Roll Tide Willie wants to come to Walker County, look, I'll show him a good time.
So this class, as we kind of just break the news that Jackson Lloyd is committing to Alabama, it seems to really follow up that, the recruitment weekends happen, people go home and they're like, you know what? I feel comfortable there at Alabama. I get this opportunity to play for the Crimson Tide, and I'm excited about playing for Coach DeBoer. And to me, that's exciting. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, right?
Oh yeah. And those pictures with the trophies, that kind of hits home because guess what? You don't get to do that anywhere else hardly. Who has those trophies, Mick?
Yeah, not many.
Not many.
Yeah.
So it's just the Alabama standard, and we're hearing so much from these not only the folks making the official visits, but also the commitments that are being made. They understand, and this is something that Coach DeBoer obviously has continued on from Coach Saban. They understand the tradition at Alabama. They understand that, the standard. The standard didn't leave with Saban. The
Right.
standard stayed.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I just I feel like he's able to convey that message. We won a lot of championships under Nick Saban, but we want to continue and win more, and we got to have players like you to come in and help us continue the tradition of Alabama football. And I think that really hits home, because when you read about some of these commitments, they say, I want to be surrounded by these guys.
Right.
These are who I want to surround myself with.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, Jackson Lloyd's in from Carmel, California, again, in the same town as Clint Eastwood, where he was mayor, and our friend Skip Powers, who we know from Alabama's athletic department, another Carmel native. So a shout out to Skip. And so Alabama's recruiting class just got another 4-star. I'm going to guess that one of the next guys could be Ty Hayward, the 5-star offensive lineman from Denton, Texas. You mentioned it yesterday that some of the services are now starting to predict that he could be a guy that come to Alabama.
Yeah, and I want to mention this too. This was some news that Recruits Bama had posted, that it has been confirmed about an hour ago that Haywood will be at Florida State this weekend for his official visit. He's one of the top 8 players nationally, and a lot of folks are still predicting him to go to Alabama. In case you missed this morning's show, he was supposed to visit Oklahoma this past weekend and did not make the trip, and apparently was not going to reschedule the trip. So that's why people are wondering kind of what's going on with him. Now, he's supposed to be in Tallahassee for a Florida State visit this weekend. We'll see, but that may be the next guy.
Yeah, and that's for you, Sam, throwing that out there. And then Todd, of course, a big fan of Wesley's Booby Trap, and of course, Big Sexy Elmo, a regular there. So we're going to try to do a live show from Wesley's at some point. No, I'm just kidding. I
can line it up.
Yeah, no, our mutual friend, the late great Bull Corey, used to talk about Wesley's all the time.
I mean, it would be fun. It would be interesting. Now, let me just put it that way. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if there'd be any 5-star prospects there.
Football prospects or other kind of prospects?
I'm just kidding. All right, well, look, guys, like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you for being here. This is just a quick jump on. We wanted to tell you guys, Roll Tide, thanks for hanging out with us every day. Bryce, thanks for hanging out with us. Sam, thanks for hanging out with us. Big day for Alabama. Another recruit coming in. The recruiting class is now in the top 5 nationally, closing in on 3. They still have a chance to be the national champion in recruiting. Alabama's got a ton of momentum as the on-campus visits continue, and they are going to continue. A lot of big visitors have just left and some more coming in. Kalen DeBoer and his staff are winning these guys over one by one. And as Brett mentioned, this was the first guy that they offered when Kalen DeBoer got the job. They offered him to come to Alabama, and they got him. And I know it's all the way out on the West Coast. We're getting a lot of guys from California, the Mater Day guys, obviously him. But we're also taking care of the guys around the circumference as well, which was something that I was concerned about. So we're getting both. We're getting the national guys, the guys that they know that they recruited, and then the guys at home who are elite prospects as well. So looking good for the Crimson Tide in recruiting. Any final thoughts, my friend?
Just a big Roll Tide, Mick, and Roll Tide to everybody watching. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in the morning. Okay, Mick?
Hey, yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. And again, Roll Tide, everybody.